And the Academy Award goes to... That's what they say at the Oscars. You'll find out who wins at the end of this episode. Probably, if I remember. Did you guys watch the Oscars?
I did. I did watch the Oscars.
Did you watch the Academy Awards?
I watched the Academy Awards as well, yeah.
That's right, they're the same thing. And this year, Conan O'Brien hosted. Did you see him?
That's true.
I did see him. I saw him
like
in real life.
He hosted it?
I liked when he hosted it.
I did too. Did you see that Nora won Best Picture?
I did see a Nora won Best Picture. And I even saw that movie.
Me too. Well, I didn't watch the movie, but I saw that it won. Did you like that?
I was not super enthused by it, but there are worse movies that could have won, so I was fine with it.
Bummer. Anyway, here's the theme song. Welcome back to Man Cave Movie Night. God, enough about the Oscars 2025. We've heard it all. That was weeks ago.
It's time to set our sights on 2026.
For real. It's just always the same categories. It's always the same films. Actually, that's actually not true. It's always new films.
Always the same types of films.
But it's the same types of films. You already know who's going to win. You already know who's going to... It's just the same thing. And so instead of spending this whole Oscars episode talking about blah, 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 best supporting actor, blah, 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 best picture of the entire year, we're going to do a little different type of little game or discussion. And that's the Orange Boys presents Man Cave Movie Night's Academy Awards nominations and categories.
I like it.
That's
a catchy title.
That is really catchy.
We're hosting it this year, but next year we're gonna have it hosted by like Jake Gyllenhaal or something.
Yeah. Probably him.
We can't get Conan because Conan's gonna be doing the actual thing. So Jake Gyllenhaal's the next best.
He is
host.
He is the next best host.
So
is Janet Jackson still alive? We could have her do it.
We could, but I'd prefer Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
Maybe they could both. They could
They could tag team
co-host.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
They've done 3 hosts one year even, but that's too many, I think.
Who were the 3?
It was like Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer, and someone else.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was better than I was expecting.
Get Amy Schumer.
Yeah, they could have. But then
awesome.
There were 3 of them for some reason, so that's kind of fun too.
Well, instead of that blah, blah, blah mouthful of a title that we have, also, it's becoming very evident to me that I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, which is not my normal wake-up time. I'm just a little bit sleepy.
It happens.
But that's not going to affect the quality of this episode.
No, it's not.
Instead of that super long title, we could shorten it, kind of like the Academy Awards, God, mouthful, into the Oscars.
Oh, so easy.
We call these, the oranges. No, the
oranges is good.
I like
the oranges.
Oh,
the
we
oranges.
do like the oranges.
Yeah, those are great.
Oranges.
The oranges. The orange.
To see
I don't know if oranges is good, actually.
Oranges, just oranges. That's perfectly acceptable.
The oranges. You say it with as many syllables as possible. The oranges. All right, welcome back to the Oranges Year 1. What we've decided to do this week is come up with a couple of our own unique categories, and then we're all going to submit a movie that would fit into that category. So, a classic category for the Oscars is Best Supporting Actor or Actress. Well, instead, we could do something like, Best Film Directed by an Actor, or Film with Best Dance Montage. I don't think this has to.
We're not doing those, but
because
Right.
yeah, those are my
for this year,
example ones.
those
that
are
I sent out.
examples. Yeah.
Right.
But the ones we came up with were just as good, if not
Better.
a little
Better
bit
even.
worse. I mean, better.
Yeah.
Nice.
Better even. But yeah, I don't think our movie selection needs to be within the 2024 year.
Oh, well.
Good.
I don't know how many. I haven't seen all. I didn't even see all the nominated Oscars films. Not even close.
Yeah, not for me either.
Yeah. So
What a film podcast this is.
Yeah.
Well,
all the ones I have are from this year, but that's fine. Like that's.
Yeah, I'm
oh
definitely
yeah, I'm
not
for
doing
sure not
that.
going to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Um,
can always change.
You can
You can keep
you
'em.
stick to what you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey.
stick to mine because, yeah, some of these questions are a little bit too open.
Yeah, I was.
If it's just
I was
all
saying
movies
that.
ever,
Yeah.
some of these got like best original film. Just
Yeah,
of
I was
all
looking
time.
at that. I was like, damn.
My mindset was of this year, so it's like that narrows it down a pretty good amount. But that's fine. We can just roll with whatever you guys got. I'm more than happy to go along.
How about
Well,
how about
there's some of these
of
that I'm
recent?
yeah,
certain
recent, like
that
of the
we won't have.
2020s, maybe.
For the
multiple.
ones that you can do recent, awesome. For the ones
Yeah.
that have to be all time, we're gonna go bigger
Yeah,
because I think
Yeah.
there are some that maybe don't even have an entrant this year.
yeah,
So
Well, clearly they do. If Lucas picked them,
yeah. I
So-
have an answer for all 6 nominations. We should go through what the nominations are going to be, and then
yeah, should we list the categories?
yeah, let's list the categories.
Yeah, let's do it. And so then you can hope that Dune gets nominated, and then not.
And then not win.
And then it also
Yeah.
won't win.
Um,
Niall, yeah, would you tell us
I'll-
your
yeah.
categories?
Yeah.
So my categories that I have brought to the table today are best movie featuring an anthropomorphic animal and best remake / reboot.
Very nice. Very good
Awesome.
categories.
Thanks,
Mine
guys.
are, as alluded to previously, best original movie. So
Yes.
wide open door there. A lot of options.
Since
if we're
the beginning of film.
the beginning of film, basically, what's the best?
There's been
movie?
a couple that I can think of that
I
are original.
think it's The Dark, written and directed by Lucas
Yep,
Covert.
best
Yeah, I
original
agree.
movie ever. And then the other one is most disappointing movie. And again, if we can do this year, I think that would be better. But if we need to
For
do
those ones,
the
for sure.
2020s,
Yeah.
that's fine too. I think just recency is going
I
to
think
be our
for
ally.
yours, recency is what we're going for. So I
Recency,
will,
as
I'll
close
adjust
as
my
possible.
answers.
Yeah, I love that. My 2 questions are best movie you can watch with your friends but not your parents, and best supporting performance by a robot.
Very good.
Awesome.
So those
So
could be this year, maybe. I don't know how many robots.
yeah,
there
yeah,
are.
I have answers
Film.
for both of those. The pickings were not great for those, for some of those,
Sure.
like the anthropomorphic and the robot question were the hardest to come up
Yeah,
with.
the
Right.
But
robot
there were
one, I
options.
was thinking that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
But
I
with
can only
that,
think of one, which is the same movie that would have the anthropomorphic animal in it.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
which
We'll get to that point.
Okay.
Oh,
that one, well,
I,
that is
I,
recent.
I
kind
don't.
of
I think
both.
you're confusing anthropomorphic with animatronic. Those are 2 different things.
No, those are robots.
No,
though.
like the guys that do like the pizza song and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like
pizza
they
time.
kinda dance around.
Pizza time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is that what you meant?
animatronics. That's an animatronic.
For
I
your
meant an
question, would it
anthropomorphic
work?
Animal. If you want it to, sure.
Yeah, that's basically what that is.
No, it's okay. I'll come up with something.
That's fine.
I think maybe somewhere our wires got crossed.
I think so.
I think the way we should do this is the way that the
Yeah.
Academy, the real Academy, does it, which is majority wins. So whoever gets the most votes, because you're not going to get a majority with that many.
So we're all bringing a nominee, and then
So
we'll all vote.
I'll
on
vote,
the-
and so whichever gets 2 of 3, or if it's
Okay.
a tie, if it's a 3-way
No,
tie,
I like it.
I think that there have been occurrences where there have been ties, and the Oscar has gone to more than one person. It's very rare,
fair.
and I don't think it's very common. But, if we all just want to nominate the ones that we brought, and there are just 6 three-way ties.
What my initial
Or let's just say
thought
you
was-
can't vote for your own.
That's fair. We could do that. My initial thought was I would just roll like a dice and choose one at random because that's how it feels like they decide.
Oh, that's
which
better,
movie
actually.
wins.
Yeah, probably.
That is
that's
how it
way
feels
better.
like they do it.
Because that way
Okay,
we'll
then
never
we'll-
have a tie.
Yeah, we'll just we'll do it that way.
Or if you
Yeah,
have your three-sided
perfect.
coin.
I do have a couple of those.
Yum.
Sweet. Well, which one should we start off with? Should we start a little more sillier and end, or how?
Yeah, I think we start silly and then we end serious. That's our typical trajectory in this show.
Yeah. Well, we could
Yeah,
we can
almost
alternate.
always.
Let's
Yeah,
just pick one
let's-
at random.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time, and you can just decide which question
Okay.
you want to do. So I'll go first. I'll just
Okay.
choose one of mine, and then Niall, and then Lucas, and we'll
Sounds
do a
good.
loop. So, my friends, this category is best movie you can watch with your friends, but not with your parents. And I think I like how the Oscars illuminate, these movies to audiences who probably wouldn't be aware of them. But now, and I want to do the same thing, just inform our audience of movies. Great with your friends, but ones.
Whoa! Jared just
Whoa.
had fireworks launching off.
For the audio listener,
the
Jared's
old-
got the Apple
The old Apple
FaceTime
reaction.
prompt. He just had fireworks go off.
Yeah, anyway, we're just trying to inform you on this.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
Sweet. Sounds good. Niall, do you have do you have an answer? Because I do have one.
Yeah, you go first. I've got some from this year. I've also got some just from in general. But yeah, you go first, and I'll see if I need to adjust mine based on your answer.
mine will be from
You have
all
not
time.
seen this one. This one
I hope it doesn't win, man.
a very fun movie that premiered at Sundance of last year. It's called It's What's Inside. I don't think either of you have watched it. I watched it with Ian and Britton a couple months ago.
Shout out.
And it is... I really didn't know much about it, except that a lot of people I talked to said it was very fun. It's a very good, original story. It's kind of like a horror party game type thing where... I really don't want to give away even what the premise is because I didn't know what it was, and it was really fun to just experience it. But it's one of those games, it's kind of revolving around a wedding and kind of like a wedding dinner beforehand with an old group of friends that hasn't gotten together for a while. They get together and play a game, and there's a whole bunch of shenanigans that happens. And they're in their 20s or 30s, and
Okay.
so it's really fun to watch with friends. And I was thinking it'd be fun to watch in an even bigger group of friends as well. But watching with your parents, and it is rated R, so there's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of kind of sexual allusions and jokes and some violence and stuff like that. So it's not a great movie to watch with your parents at all because you'd probably be feeling uncomfortable and oh yeah, I actually don't understand that joke because I don't understand crass humor. Look at me, mother. I'm an exemplary boy. However, if you're with your friends watching this movie, you can laugh and hem and haw all you want because it is very entertaining and very engaging. It's a pretty tight, 90, 100 minutes. It's very quick, but very entertaining, and it is very, very fun. So I would highly recommend it. And if you've watched it, you probably do enjoy it. But it's a great one to watch with friends. And if I went in knowing, I think Ian suggested it was just that I know people I know had liked it, and that was enough to watch it, and I'm very glad that we did. So that is my recommendation if you haven't seen it, but also my nomination for this category
Heyo.
for the oranges.
What was the name of it again?
It's What's Inside.
It's What's Inside.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Lucas.
You
I
are very
love it.
welcome.
Okay, my answer for this one is also it's from this last year. There's not am I allowed to nominate one I haven't seen?
Yeah,
I've
because
got
the
different
Academy.
options. I've got another one I can do.
If we're doing
Academy
only
votes for movies that-
2024 movies, then I will only be nominating movies that I have not seen.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to do one that I have seen. However,
That's probably
I don't know if
wise.
it's actually a best movie. I think it's most accurate to the question, which was it was fun for me to watch. I cannot imagine watching it with my parents, and that is Joker Folie à Deux, which I had plenty of fun watching. It wasn't good, but it would be frustrating to watch with parents for multiple reasons. First of all, obviously content. It just would be. There were multiple scenes in there where I would have just
uncomfortable.
eyes forward or pretending I got a text and I'm focusing on this right now. But then also, I feel like the post-movie talk back with parents would just be a nightmare on that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I imagine talking to my mom and dad after and just hearing the interpretations of what had gone on and what everything meant, and basically just the trashing it, but not in a fun way.
Yeah.
I would dread doing. However, I went and saw that one with Britton, and we had a great time. We didn't like it, but talking about it afterwards was so much fun.
I'm sure, yeah.
And kind of that's one of my movies from this year that I love the memory of going and seeing it. And had I seen it with parents, it would not have been any fun attached to it. Not that I don't love seeing movies with my parents. Mom, I saw Wicked with you and we had the best time.
Yeah, that's all the yeah, shout out to Kel. That's all the question is about. It's all, you can like watching movies with your parents, but these ones not so much.
Yeah. These ones not so
and
much.
I really, really hope that Joker Folie à Deux wins an orange, because it didn't win any Oscars. It didn't even get nominated for any Oscars, and it deserved it.
It did not deserve it.
And also, Joaquin Phoenix gave the exact same performance as he did in the first movie and did not get nominated this time, which I think is interesting. Anyway.
Last time he won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Man, one might even say we live in a society.
Huh. I would say so.
Interesting.
I'd say that
makes
too.
you think.
I'd say that
Certainly makes you
X.
think. X, the Everything app.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
this guy knows what X is.
Yeah.
My pick is a movie I haven't seen, and I would, if any of my friends were like, "Hey, you want to watch this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, throw it on." If my dad said, "Do you want to watch this?" I would shut down. I just don't know what I'd do. I would leave wherever I was at, and that is The Apprentice.
Oh, nice.
Now
that's a great pick for a different reason.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, this is a Donald Trump story, right? I don't know how much of a biopic it actually is, how much has a narrative on top of it. All I know is whatever my dad gets out of it is going to be very different than what I get out of it. And any criticisms he has for it, he will let me know vocally throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think the audience for The Apprentice is my dad, who is a fan of the man himself. And I just can't imagine that would be a very good watching experience. But I've heard it's a very good movie.
It is.
And I've heard it's done very well, and the performances are great.
Yep.
So, yeah, if one of the boys said, "Hey, let's throw it on," I'd be in. So
nice.
My answer is The Apprentice.
Great answer. I love that.
Nice.
The nominations are in.
Oh, yeah, let's roll the die.
I'm rolling the die right now. And I'm opening the envelope if you're listening.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, I can crinkle some paper to make it sound like you're opening an envelope. 1 second.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. And the orange goes to It's What's Inside.
Yes!
Oh,
yes.
Congratulations.
Wow.
This is where all of the listeners, you just imagine the original score of It's What's Inside playing right now, which all of you are very obviously familiar with.
Well, cool. That is the one that deserved it, I think, of the nominations, of the nominees. Sometimes the one that deserves it most does win it, Sometimes it does happen. It's not very often, but sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, like Emilia
Sometimes.
Perez for Best Original Song.
Yes, exactly like that.
Hello, very nice to meet you. Amazing.
Hello,
Niall,
hello, hello.
if you would like to introduce our next category.
I would love to. I'm going to introduce a category that will allow for some movement through time, if you will. This does not need to be 2024 or even 2023. Doesn't even really need to be that recent if you don't want it to be. Just do whatever. Just do whatever. Nothing matters to me.
Nothing. Just
What we
nothing.
are going to do is this category is Best Movie featuring an anthropomorphic animal. And the nominees are
Okay, so just to be clear, they don't have to be at like a
Anthropomorphic.
pizza parlor type.
They don't
site.
have to be. In fact, I don't think that that's an anthropomorphic animal.
Wait, a pizza oh, yeah. From Five Nights at Freddy's.
So,
Okay.
An anthropomorphic animal is just an animal that possesses the qualities of humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can diminish it to the point of an animal that speaks if you want. It
I would
also,
like to.
I think more accurately would be an animal possessing human qualities. But if you
Okay.
just want to do an animal that speaks a human language, I'll give it to you.
So, are
Because
we doing...
I know that all of us have Marmaduke at the top of our list.
Yes,
that's
yes,
the number
very
one.
high. And ideally, in the ideal world, Marmaduke walks on his hind legs and wears clothes and has a job.
Exactly. The only reason that he doesn't is physical limitation.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beverly Hills Chihuahua is another one on that list. So we can just kind of clear those. Those are so obvious that they're not going to be nominated.
So
this
just to
year.
clarify as well, this is a specific animal in a specific movie, as though it were, Kieran Culkin getting nominated for A Real Pain. That's the way we're doing this, right? Or just the movie.
Yeah, is it the best
Oh,
movie or is it
that
the
is
best
interesting.
performance?
I was doing best movie featuring an anthropomorphic animal, but
Okay.
I think we can shift that to best anthropomorphic animal performance.
Okay.
I like
okay.
that. Great.
So
That's going to change my answer maybe a little bit, but I like it.
okay. With that, oh man. Okay, here is my nomination.
There's some really good ones.
And this is because all mine are going to be
Just in general.
this year as well, as I mentioned, and I just want to make sure.
I know who
okay.
you're going to nominate. I already know who you're
So
gonna
this
nominate.
is going to be Offspring from Alien Romulus.
Oh, are we calling that an animal?
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely half animal.
It's a creature.
It's a creature. It's definitely
I would
anthropomorphic.
say it's an anthropomorphic animal.
Well,
Yeah,
that
it doesn't even
I love it.
play an
That
instrument.
was not at all what I thought you were gonna say, but I love it.
I genuinely, if you have seen Alien Romulus, that I think was the best part, or one of the best parts of that movie.
It was some of the most incredible imagery in like any movie.
Yeah, it was
I've seen,
so jarring.
It was crazy.
And part of what it was, genuinely, was the performance by, I'm going to butcher his name, Robert Bob Rox's
Bob Ross.
Bob Rox is
Bob
key.
Rocks.
And
Bob
he
Ross
is
key.
7'7". He's a Romanian former basketball player who is now an actor. And
he pretty much plays roles like the Offspring
yeah.
from Alien Romulus.
and it
Just
is
if you need someone with a terrifying stature.
yeah, 7'7", but also they give him a tail. His skin is just like it is a very jarring but very, very well done, like very unsettling part of that movie. And it's like a practical suit. Like he actually wore that. He got, all those prosthetics put on him.
Those
the set
videos
footage.
on set.
Crazy.
It's like that's a real
That's a
thing.
real
All
thing
of
that
is
exists.
in camera.
Yeah.
So scary.
It was awesome. It was a really, really cool part of that. And so that's my nomination is Robert Bobrowski as Offspring in Alien Romulus.
Very, very good.
Good. I haven't seen it, and I don't think it's an animal, but I think it's a great pick.
I mean, it is. What else would the would the xenomorph be if not an animal? Aliens. I mean,
alien.
Yeah, but this thing is not. It's an abomination. It's
Yeah,
not
it's an abomination.
It's an anthropomorphic abomination.
okay, maybe I should
Which
have
if
saved
that was
that
the
for
question,
the nomination.
I would have done a very different answer.
All right.
I'm going to go back a couple of years to 2022.
Okay, nice. So still
And I'm
pretty
gonna-
recent.
Still pretty recent. I'm trying to keep it within the 2020s if I can. And I'm just going to nominate one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time. And that is the performance of Puss in Boots in Puss in
Nice.
Boots 2, The Last Wish.
Very good.
Good answer.
We've seen a lot of anthropomorphic cats in the history of film. How many times have we seen an anthropomorphic cat really come to grips with their own mortality
Yeah.
Far
while
too
also trying to
end of
maintain
their
the
ninth
reputation
Yeah.
of being a folk hero to their peers and trying to live up to that reputation. So an absolute beautiful exploration of character from this cat. And I just couldn't say enough about it. The performance is actually amazing.
Yeah.
The representation of panic attacks and stuff in the film is incredibly well done. And he makes you laugh, he makes you cry. Puss in Boots, baby. Let's
He'll
get you an
never die.
orange.
He'll never die. Yeah,
Oh, that's
there
so
you go.
All right, those are good. My answer is not super recent. It's after 2000, which is pretty good.
That is good.
This is coming up at the tail end of the 2000s years, before that big turn of the decade. And my nomination is for George Clooney as the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Nice. That's so good.
I think that is pretty much as good of a job as you can do with anthropomorphic animals in a movie, and as it's really impressive to have a character who is as charismatic and honestly manipulative as Mr. Fox, while also being so sweet and so charming and likable the entire time. Like, even when he's bad, you recognize his shortcomings or problems, but you still just love him so much. And I think that it's done just as well as it could be done. So I think that is the standard that all other anthropomorphic animal films should hold themselves to.
I think
I agree.
that is a
Yeah,
great
that's
answer.
great.
All
Awesome
right.
answer.
And the orange goes too.
Well, let's see.
Oh. The Offspring. Alien Romulus.
Yo, let's go, baby. Offspring for the win. That's what I
Offspring's
get for
finally
keeping it
getting his
recent.
orange.
Yeah, he's finally getting
Offspring's
his
worked
orange.
for a long time just to get this award.
That is so
This
funny.
this is the first orange and first nomination for The Offspring.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
Lucas, you're
That's
2 for
great.
2. If you want
Let's
to give
go.
us your question, we'll keep going.
All right, sounds good. My question is going to be, I think I'll do that. The most disappointing movie. Now, again, in my
Nice.
context, this is of the year, because most disappointing ever is crazy. But if that's the way
awesome.
you want to do it, then that's great. I like the flow we've got going on here.
Great.
So, most disappointing movie of the year, or recent years, or just ever, whatever you're feeling with this one.
Yeah, I'll go with my pick for this year. There's a lot of movies I was excited to see. Specifically, there was a time during the year where there were multiple movies I wanted to go see. And one I was way excited for, and the other one was Wicked. And I just had this feeling, and I was like, God, I know I'm going to like Wicked more. For some reason, Gladiator 2 is going to let me down. And I went and saw it, and I was let down. I love Gladiator. There's few movies that are as epic as that one. And so, obviously, it has a high bar.
Yeah, totally.
But I just wanted them to at least land some of those big emotional beats. and help me feel for another character like I did in the first one for Spartacus. And it
Maximus.
Maximus, thank you. And it just didn't happen.
You.
Thanks, man.
I got you. No problem.
And it just didn't happen for me. There were some cool visuals, but overall, there was no real emotional weight to it, and I left unsatisfied, which was not the case for Wicked.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wicked
dude.
rocked.
Oh,
Yeah, Wicked
was
rocked.
Awesome.
It really did. Well, that is a great answer.
Good answer. My answer for this year, and I hope that I'm not taking Lucas's, except I kind of do hope that I am. I know that he's got a couple that he was disappointed by this year, though, so I think
I got a couple rounds in the chamber.
Mine, this is maybe the most disappointed I was all last year. I was in the theater, surrounded by all my friends and everyone I love, sitting through Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
We had a tough lineup of most anticipated movies in our 2024 episode that then ended up being
The reason Borderlands is
Borderlands?
not I'm not saying Borderlands because I
haven't
didn't
seen
see
it.
it. I was noting there are a lot of disappointments this year that I heard about. Most of them I didn't actually end up seeing because I heard they were so disappointing.
Yeah.
I just ended up not going.
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I did not have that luxury, and I did put myself through it, and it was just like the marketing was so awesome, and it looked visually so incredible, and like what they were showing in all of the trailers, I was like, this movie's gonna rock. It's gonna be
what
so
a wonderful
cool.
day!
It's like that's
that was
awesome,
sick.
and it's off the heels of one of the coolest trilogies of all time, and so you're like, yeah, dude, they're gonna keep it going, and then you see it, and it's just nothing.
Yeah. Oh,
That whole movie was just nothing at all,
absolutely nothing.
and it like I couldn't tell you what the story was. Honestly, the biggest part of that movie to me was the William H. Macy jump scare. It just kind of was present.
So funny.
It's
Of the years.
But like more than halfway through the movie, he's just like, I'm a main character of this now. And like,
Yeah, and
all
he
right,
is.
cool, dude.
Boy, is he.
Oh, it was just dumb. So yeah, that's mine.
That's
Awesome.
a great answer.
That is. Now, mine is another one that I mentioned as most anticipated. And our friend of the podcast.
Oh, of course.
Andrew sent this to us out of context, just sent this clip to us on Instagram. And it is me talking about how excited I was for Megalopolis. And, you know, the points I was making, I will still stand behind at the time because I was talking about how it's Francis Ford Coppola's first movie in a long time. And, you know, he's self-funded and blah, 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 whatever. And I was genuinely excited even up until actually watching it. I was like, I'm not going to listen to the haters. I dragged people along. You know, there's like 5 of us who watched it. And man, oh man, was that a bad movie. And that, not only was that the most disappointing movie of the year, it was the worst movie of the year by far. Yeah. And, you know, worse than Joker, worse than Craven, worse than Venom 3. Like, it was a stinky year for movies, but that was the worst one of them all. And, you know, he won. So the Golden Raspberries are an award that are for the worst movies of the year. Basically, it's like the silly Oscars where they kind of make fun of stuff. And he won worst director and worst picture. And he posted on Instagram about it and was like, you know what? Whatever. We live in a world where people aren't making original movies, and I still stand behind Megalopolis, so I don't care what you say. And I was like, you know, even though I did not like that movie at all, good for you, Francis, for still sticking with your guns. But ultimately, at the end of the day, most disappointing nomination, Megalopolis.
And an excerpt of conversation from the episode where Lucas listed that as one of his most anticipated was that Lucas said he funded it with his own money. And then I, in a flash of prophetic vision, said, that's what people say when they're trying to sell a really bad movie. And I think it worked out.
Yeah,
I think it paid off.
Yeah, you knew.
You knew.
That's industry speak for there are no studios that
Nobody
are going to
wants
fund
to
this.
that want to spend $100 million.
No one
is
thinks
dead
this is
in
going to
the
make
water.
money.
Well, those are all great nominations, but there can only be.
But there can only be one winner. Yeah.
And the orange goes to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the
Wow.
Academy. I want to thank every monkey who's ever lived. We couldn't have done this without you.
Especially
This is
Harambe,
the
though.
first win and first nomination for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Amazing.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Well, in good company, those three movies suck.
Yeah, that was a heavily contentious round.
Yeah. Another one of the movies that I put on my most anticipated list for last year was Argyle.
Oh, nice.
also
I heard that
like-
was. I heard that.
I remember
was
watching it, it was
terrible.
fine, but in my mind, that has just aged like milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Hey,
heard
and that's
only
why we do
horrible
it.
things about it.
That's why we do it, because you never know. It's a
Yeah.
shot in the dark.
Yeah, true.
But some movies really surprise you. And this year we are honoring the best supporting performance by a robot.
Oh, by a robot, you say?
By a robot.
Can't wait.
And there is, of course, the difference between a robot in a lead role and a robot in a supporting role. So if you could try to honor that, that would be great. If you can't, that's also fine.
Yeah.
I will honor it.
For this last year, I can think of 2 movies.
Yeah.
And one of them I might actually go for just even in general, but I did have an older movie picked originally. But I can make that adjustment, I think.
However you'd like to do it. Whoever wants to go first.
I'm going to let Lucas go first because he was playing with one hand tied behind his back trying to pick stuff from this year. So I'm going to let him go. Unless you're spending time trying to
No.
find something
I
not
know
from
what
this
it
year.
is. I just need to make sure that I'm properly
Presenting it.
presenting
Okay.
it.
Because, yeah,
Okay.
mainly
Yep,
I don't
I
want to
have it.
switch last minute to something this year and
Okay.
then take the thing that you thought of.
Nope, I've got it. All right, so
Okay.
my nomination actually is going to be from a movie I've already nominated, and that's going to be from Alien Romulus, and that's going to be
Oh,
Rook.
Ooh.
Oh, that is a great pick. I
Rook,
didn't even think
which
about
is
that.
Ian Holmes' corpse resurrected, who is a dead person, and
Oh,
he is
you're not
brought
going
back
with-
to life through, the use of regenerative technology in real life. I'm talking like this person is dead, Ian Holm is dead, and
Yeah.
Rook is the robot character, android, I guess closer than robot is the character he plays in Alien Romulus. I was not initially anticipating double nominating Alien Romulus because I liked it, but it was not nearly my favorite movie of the year at all. But here we are, Ian Holmes, kind of voice reference and facial reference CGI'd onto this robot as the new, Rook character because he played Ash in Alien in 1979. And so now he played a new robot in this one called Rook.
Can I make a suggestion for your nomination?
Sure.
Can we change it to the other guy who was an android who was there for the whole movie? and
Oh,
was incredible?
yeah. I forgot about there being another android in that. Yeah, that's the one, actually. Yep, it's...
And he was
Yeah.
he actually
amazing.
was great. David Johnson is
Both
Andy. All right, yep.
Deserving of an orange.
Yep.
Okay.
I just
I
totally
don't- I
forgot
don't
he
mean
was
to
an android.
step on
no,
your
no.
toes.
I appreciate that because I genuinely forgot that yeah, he was the best part of that movie. So yeah.
He was.
Sorry,
he
David.
was
You're the new nominee, though.
incredible.
Get out of here, Ian. Ian Holm.
Get out of here, fake
old
Ian
bat.
Holm.
David Johnson is Andy.
Okay.
That's the
That's a
nominee.
good nomination. My nomination goes to Megatron in
Oh, yeah.
Transformers 1.
Yeah, of course. Forgot that movie came out this year.
He was great. Brian Tyree Henry's Megatron was perfect. Was really, really cool. Did such a good job of like going through the evolution of like that storyline and giving a believable kind of transition from good to bad. And I thought that it was just executed so well. that's my 2024 pick. Obviously, I don't think that this is best of all time, but in terms of 2024, it was a great robots movie, and he was certainly the good supporting role. My boy Bumblebee kind of got screwed a little bit and just turned into like boring comedic relief, which was kind of a bummer. Not boring, but just like comedic relief in a way that like kids are going to think it's hilarious and just doesn't really play the same for adults. But Megatron, man, just rocked so hard. He was great.
And we gotta shout out our favorite.
Got that one out.
1 sec, I gotta double check.
Yeah, let's shout out our favorite real quick.
Shout out our favorite. 1 sec, everyone. Shout out to our favorite.
Our favorite.
RRR.
Our favorite fact about this movie.
RRR.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah.
Let's shout out our favorite fact.
This is
of the movie really quick.
no. I know
It's
what
genuinely
Lucas is going
hilarious.
for, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
so
Here it is.
funny.
I just wanted to make sure I was saying the correct number. Our favorite fact about Transformers 1 is that it takes place 3 billion years before the first Transformers.
3 billion is crazy.
Transformers 1 is set 3 billion years before the live-action feature film. Which is hilarious because it's also supposed to be the same continuity as the live-action movies, and they're like,
Yeah, and they've got it all
it's-
fleshed. They've got everything figured out. They've got their
3
timelines.
billion. Like, why?
They're trying to leave. They're
Why
trying to leave
say
enough
that?
space in there to.
Oh,
be able
jeez,
to-
dude.
They've got plans.
to put
Yeah.
more
They've
sequels
got
in.
plans on
But
what they're doing for those 3
the
billion
funny thing
years.
about
3 billion
that
is so
is
funny.
here's a little bit of Transformers 1 spoilers. That movie takes place over a couple of days and chronicles Megatron's entire change from good to evil. Which means
3
that in a
days.
couple of days,
3 billion years.
Megatron became evil and then did not change for 3 billion
We don't know
years.
that. We don't know that. He could have had some.
Yeah, he could have
had- he could have
back
gone
and
back and forth.
They left
And maybe
all
there's
that
a lot
time
to
open.
explore.
Yeah, we don't know.
We either know that he is really stuck in it, or he might be very wishy-washy. The only movie I've seen this past year, that had a robot in it, is The Wild Robot, and The Wild Robot is the main character. So I will not be saying that one. So I'm going to go back a year before. Hopefully that is okay with the Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really lenient this year.
And sometimes the best supporting characters are not the comedic relief characters. They're not some one-off dead person that you brought back with the power of invasive AI. But they are the evil AI themselves. Oh. That's right. I'm talking about the Entity from Mission Impossible:
nice.
Dead
Wow.
Reckoning.
Very cool.
Nice.
This entity drives the best scenes, I think, in Mission Impossible.
Totally, yeah.
Creates all the
was
tension. And if there's any one thing or person who can be ahead of Ethan Hunt, it's an AI that knows him better than he knows himself.
So awesome.
Bum 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 bum. So yeah, absolutely
Perfect.
Nice.
compelling. I'm excited to get more of it in the next Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Hopefully it tells a little bit more of a complete story with that antagonist. But
I think it probably
I
will.
liked it.
Hoping so. The other added bonus of the Entity is that it brought us that scene where Haley Atwell, Rebecca Ferguson, and Vanessa Kirby were in the same shot on the same camera at the
Yeah,
same time, and I was
Niall's
just like, "This
wallpaper.
movie,
Yeah.
this movie was made for me specifically." They
That's
looked
great.
up my exact 3 celebrity crushes and put them all into one frame.
Well, maybe those are also the Academy's 3.
Yeah, let's see
crushes.
what
We'll
they
see.
say.
And the orange goes to Megatron.
Oh,
Transformers
nice.
1.
Yes!
Megatron.
Yes.
3 billion years ago.
3
billion years ago.
3 billion and change.
Megatron.
That's awesome.
Is-
And it's like a good time period piece because you can kind of tell, honestly. Like,
You can tell it's
3
in
billion years
antiquity.
ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
compared to what they are now. Yeah.
Amazing. Niall,
Old
would
school.
you give
The
us
whole
your...
movie's in a sepia tone filter to show just
Yeah,
how old
just show-
school it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit grainy.
Yeah, thank you to the
Yeah, the universe is
Boys.
13 billion years old, so, you know. Just for context, that's like a quarter of the entire existence of the whole universe ago. That's when Transformers 1 took place.
Maybe Transformers -1 will take us even further. back.
Yeah.
dude.
gonna
World
go
War
That'll be
II
exciting.
Transformers.
To the Big Bang, it's
need
gonna be.
it. We need it. Okay. Am I doing my next question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you would.
I would, and I will. My next question is, and this one I think can be from at least this year, the last couple of years, because there are 1 billion of these basically every year. I want to know what the best remake or reboot from recent past is.
That is a great question.
That is a great
Let
question.
me
I have
make
my
sure
answer.
I've seen a movie. Yeah. Lucas, you go.
This is the lowest hanging fruit, but I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna do a double nomination because it's one arc, and that is Dune Part 1 and 2 as the best remake
Nice.
of the 1984
Yeah.
film, which I have not seen,
Nice.
but I can pretty safely assume that these are better than that because they're excellent
Yep.
movies. So the Dune duology, we'll call it, I guess. The Dune, the complete Dune,
Dunology.
the Duneology of Dune Part 1 and 2 is my nominee for best remake in recent years. And, you know, Dune Part 2, I'm still sticking with my of last year. I'm just throwing Dune
Yeah.
Part 1 in there, too, because it's
Yeah,
all
they're-
one.
they're-
It's all one cohesive
Return of the
unit.
King did the same thing. We're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
Well, that's
Very
a great
good.
pick. I don't think there really was a better one.
No.
But there certainly will be another one nominated, and
And-
hopefully we'll steal the win.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Twisters.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
We don't
Sick answer.
what is it? We don't chase our fears. We ride them.
You don't run from your fears. You ride them.
Yeah. Woo! Let's wrangle some tornadoes.
Raise
Yes.
and rope some tornadoes.
Did you guys watch this?
Yeah,
I
I
did.
watched Twisters.
I actually did not. It was one
I
that
saw
I
it
did.
at a drive-in. I saw it at a drive-in in a double feature with Despicable Me 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Crazy setup, but it was fun.
I did see this one with my dad. And he didn't have any sort of political things he wanted to bring up after. So I'd say it's a pretty good time. This is my
good.
review on Letterboxd. Man, I wish Glenn Powell would show up in a cowboy hat and heal my deep-rooted trauma with a smile and a pun. So,
And did he?
there you go.
He was so hot in that movie. Like
It was great.
He's always hot in movies.
it's just one of those things where you see him and you're just like, all right, that's cool. Like, that's what women are going to want me to look like now because this movie just came out.
You do look like that.
So I got at least a couple of months of dealing with that.
Yeah. The next thing I said was, imagine instead of fire in the tornado, there were a lot of sharks. That'd be cool.
That would have
So
been cool.
maybe...
Yeah,
Maybe
that
that's a
would've
good
been
idea
that
for
would be pretty cool.
a movie,
Maybe
a movie series.
for a different kind
Of
of
seven-
idea.
of seven
Let's
movies.
We'll
do it.
table that.
Huh.
We should do it. Okay, I have my answer.
Woo.
My answer is not only what I think is the best remake / reboot of the last couple of years, but also maybe my favorite movie potentially ever. I think this movie is so good, and that movie is Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
It's just it's just
too
perfect.
good.
It's just
After Godzilla has been kind of remade and rebooted a little bit into the ground, on the American front at least, we got like the perfect modern Godzilla movie, modern in production. I think setting it in the past, setting it during World War II is the perfect approach. Like, go back to roots, baby. We're doing Godzilla as it was meant to be, which is Godzilla is the bad guy. Godzilla is terrifying, and you hate it when he shows up.
Yep.
And that is what Godzilla -1 just absolutely nailed. If a Godzilla movie can make your boy cry, we're on the right track. Because I cry in every movie, but I don't cry. I don't cry in Godzilla 2014 or 2016 or whenever that movie came out. I don't cry
sure
in
about that?
King of the Monsters or
You didn't cry when
The
Bryan
New
Cranston died?
Empire. Okay, well, that doesn't count because I wasn't crying about Godzilla. I was crying about Bryan Cranston.
I see.
No, that doesn't make you cry. That's not a sad death. It's just kind of like a whoa. All right, cool. He's dead, I guess. But yeah, -1, perfect.
Isn't it fun
Perfect
how
remake.
Aaron
Great
Taylor
nomination.
Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen are spouses in that, married in that, and then siblings in Age of Ultron?
It's
Yeah.
very
Kind of
like
makes you
it.
think.
Really lets your imagination run a little wild. Those are good nominations. This is the one I hope I don't win. So we'll see.
Let's see. Here we go.
But the orange goes to Godzilla -1.
Wow.
Wow.
I really think we earned it. Da da dum da da dum da 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 dum da da dum da da dum.
This is the first nomination and first orange for Godzilla -1.
That's the song.
So are those-
I kind of wish I could have sang. And now we're in Kansas, and then there's a tornado, and I'm a
Yeah.
little sad because I miss
Everyone
my
in the-
mom.
all of the tuxedos and ball gowns in the audience are pretty bummed that Twisters didn't win because they wanted a 20-second soundbite of that.
This is Kansas, no one's safe from the tornadoes that run wild, but we wrangle them.
We ride them.
We just have the one left, right? I think it's just the final nomination, the final nominee or the final
I
category.
think so.
All right.
Yeah, we got one final one.
We got one final one, and that is going to be Best Original Movie. Now, again, for context, for this year, if you can do it, because we're not going to be like, oh, yeah. And by original movie, I would say
not
not
gonna
a
be like,
not a remake or a reboot or a sequel. If you can avoid it, not based on a book, just a fully original movie based on no source material, except for the
or
ideas.
a Broadway musical.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
So
Okay.
I will give my answer because it is also from this year, and that is going to be
Okay.
Challengers. I thought that was the
Wow,
best
yeah.
original movie from last year. It was amazing. It got 0 Oscar nominations, so screw the Academy, as per usual. There's always, and just like how Iron Claw didn't get any, there's always a couple every year that just get fully ignored. And unfortunately, that was this year,
Fully
Challengers,
undo.
which was an amazing movie written by the guy who did the Potion Seller video on YouTube.
Yes.
And
Seller.
so it's awesome. He's a great writer. He wrote a great movie about tennis. It's interesting watching interviews with him because he's like, I wanted to, tennis like boxing, because there's obviously a lot of good boxing movies, is one of the few one-on-one sports. But tennis is further apart. Like there's not a lot of closeness in terms of you're hitting the tennis ball back and forth across the whole court. And in boxing, you're right up in each other's faces, and so that's, I think, kind of allows for a lot of good movies and a lot of good tension. And so he kind of talks about how he navigated that and how there are parts where they actually do get closer as they're playing tennis, and just an amazing movie. Highly recommend it. I thought that was the best original movie from last year. And again, it got 0 Oscar nominations, but here it's getting 1 Orange nomination,
Nice.
so that's good at least.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm happy about it.
Niall, do you want to go next?
I am struggling to, honestly. I'm looking through and I'm seeing that all of my favorite movies of last year were part of a franchise at least.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one that I might have to maybe make a little bit of a case for, because while it is connected to an existing universe, I am pretty sure that it's a new story. So the story is original, but basically the setting isn't. What do we think about that? And then Lucas, how about this? I'll present it, and then if you guys nix it, then I'll keep looking and I can adjust.
All right.
How's that?
All right, fine.
All
Well,
right,
I'm seeing one on Letterboxd that you gave 5 stars. That was an original.
Oh, I do have one idea, actually. Should I just do that one?
Yeah, what is
It's up
it?
to you.
I'll just do that one. Mine, and Lucas is going to disagree with this one because I don't think that he liked it because of the way that it went. But
Interesting.
I really liked it. My answer is going to be Long Legs.
Oh, no, I liked it.
Interesting.
What was
I
that
thought
the one
that-
you
Not
were
what
going to
that's
say?
not what I thought you were going to say.
What did you think he was going to say?
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Civil War.
Oh, that's another good one.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Civil War was also
That
a
was
good
a great
original
one.
movie.
But I think I'm probably going to stick with Long
Yeah,
Legs.
stick with Long Legs.
I think that Long Legs was such a crazy, scary movie with such a unique feeling to it.
Yes.
I haven't seen many movies that made me feel the way that movie did. And I think I've already talked about it on the podcast, but I legitimately slept with a lamp on that night because there was one image in particular that I just couldn't get out of my head. And like when I closed my eyes, it was the thing that I saw.
Wait, which
And
image?
It was one of the times where you see just like the eyes looking through like the dark head
Oh,
of
yeah.
the doll.
Nice.
And it just like even right now I can see that vividly in my head because it was just such a freaky image. And Nick Cage's performance is one of the highlights of his career, I think, with just how like out of type and crazy he was. And I thought the lead was amazing.
Yeah.
She was
Micah
just kind of
Monroe, I think is her name.
captivating to watch. She was her whole performance was awesome. So that's my one.
Yeah, I really agree with you about 90% of that movie fully sucked me in. Amazing. But I just did not at all like the way that it ended. I thought the ending was
And that's
so
what I was saying. You didn't
lame.
like the way that it went.
Yeah, the way that it ended, not the way
I
that it
loved it.
went,
I
because
loved the
everything
ending.
else about it was amazing. And I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but that really just was like, man, what a crazy disappointment for me personally as I was watching that. Because the movie was great up until the ending, and I was like, really? That's the way you're ending this
Yeah.
movie?
I thought that was even going to be in the running for your most disappointing movie.
No, because I didn't have any
down
expectations for that. Like, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, but I feel like it disappointed you in
the theater. Oh yeah,
experience.
absolutely. I was like, this is as good as Silence of the Lambs. We haven't had a good like FBI kind of thriller horror movie like this since then. And then I was like, oh come on, really? That's the way
we
you
still
end?
don't.
Yeah, we still don't. Unfortunately, that very very good movie. I gave it a 4 still on Letterboxd, which is very good. I really liked it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's
All
like
right,
it's just the ending. That's really all that it was for me.
but I like it a lot.
Well, it's my
Wait,
turn, I suppose.
before
to say
you
something.
go, can I just at least pose what the other one I was going to
Oh,
say
yeah.
was, and we can see if
Go
we
for
would
it.
have counted it? I was going to say Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, that's definitely based on something. That's not original at all.
Yeah, but is the story not original even?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's based on appendices. I would be shocked if that's not based on something.
I would be shocked if Tolkien wrote a story where a female character
had a prominent
did the
role.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched that.
Even
still.
if he imagined it in his head and wrote a note in an appendix, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's based on something, but I don't know specific. I assume, yeah.
Gotcha.
But,
All right,
I mean,
well,
because
then
like
glad
Helm
I didn't say
Hammerhand,
that.
the whole Helm's Deep, like that's definitely based on.
Yeah, I
stuff
suppose
from.
that's fair.
That's true.
All right.
So I'm glad you went with long legs.
I'm glad I went with long legs too.
Yeah.
Now, there's...
Yeah, specifically
I've
drawn
got-
from the appendices and focusing on the history of Rohan and the events surrounding Helm Hammerhand and the founding of Helm's Deep. Yeah.
But the girl was a fabrication.
Maybe. It could have been. I didn't want to take too much time.
We need a heroine. The few movies that I saw last year that were like original, as far as I know, I didn't maybe love, so I don't want to say those.
What
I
are
didn't
some?
love Civil War, and I didn't. The other one was Monkey Man,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I thought was good, but I didn't maybe love it.
Yeah.
You could say if.
Did
I
you
could
watch
say
that?
If. I
did.
didn't. No.
Did any of us watch Red One?
No.
I don't think so.
No
That's
way.
another original movie, kind of.
But I have a mini
Based on
series I could
Santa.
say, or I could say a movie that I haven't seen that I bet would be a good pick.
Yeah, let's stick with. Yeah, let's hear them both, and then we'll.
Okay, well, as a mini series, Baby Reindeer was
Oh,
a very
nice.
powerful story that was very uncomfortable in a lot of ways, but really well told. And I don't know if I'd say an easy binge, but incredibly well made, like mini series, I guess, the one season about a comedian who gets stalked for a while and also
He gets
has to
run
unpack,
over by a reindeer.
unpack a lot of his own trauma, and it explores it in a sensitive way, and it's very well done. Otherwise, I could just say The Substance, you know?
Yeah, Substance was
Yeah.
great.
All right, I'll say The Substance for Lucas.
Yeah, I mean we can do Baby Reindeer too. I mean if we're just,
Do
if you're
Baby
just
Reindeer.
yeah, just do Baby
All right,
Reindeer.
I'll do
It's a
Baby
mini
Reindeer.
series.
I'll do Baby Reindeer.
It works.
And here's the thing: these are the oranges. We don't have to
These are the
abide
oranges.
by
Yeah.
by
We can
one
do whatever the
thing
hell
of
we
media.
want.
We can, yeah. Best original thing.
All right. The best original
Ooh,
thing.
here we go. The nominees are in.
The nominees
Oh
are
wait,
in,
wait.
You
I
gotta.
gotta get my envelope.
and the orange goes to... Baby Reindeer.
Oh, there he goes.
All
Congratulations.
You got his win finally.
Woo!
That's
I'm glad
huge.
I didn't pick The Substance for
Yeah.
Lucas.
That would have been rough.
Wow. Well, six amazing winners, 6 times 3 amazing nominees.
18.
What a beautiful, beautiful night this was. And thank you, Jake Gyllenhaal, for agreeing to host next year.
Yes,
We're very
thank you,
excited
Jay.
to have
We
you.
are excited.
He's
But the-
he's got a
He's on the. He's
throat
on.
cold,
Yeah,
so
he's on
he
the phone.
can't.
He's talking
he
to
can't
someone
say
else.
anything right now.
He's
He's talking to his doctor about his throat cold.
Yeah,
so he
exactly.
can't
Well,
talk to us right now. But
The
He's
final
just off screen from that.
award.
the final award.
If is he okay to just like sit tight for a second?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm telling him he's
Okay.
I think he's asking me to make him a grilled cheese, but
No, don't do
I'm
it.
sorry. We're
Don't
doing
do
the
that.
podcast right now.
Just
but
like we can wrap up. Actually
we're
now,
so close to done, dude. So
if
give
he
me
can
like
just sit tight for a second.
3 minutes, and
The
he's doing the Nightcrawler thing. He's smashing his face into a mirror.
He'll be fine. he got over that.
I guess that's
ended well.
Foxcatcher, but whatever.
No, that's Nightcrawler.
He,
Jake Gyllenhaal?
well,
Oh,
he
does he
he
smash-
breaks the
he
mirror,
break-
but in Channing
I
Tatum
see.
breaks his for. Now he is smashing
Oh,
his
he's
face in
mad
the mirror
'cause
because
you-
I got that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should have Channing if he's
Yeah, if Channing is
he's
available,
kinda
maybe
really
he'd
got
be a
those
better pick
comedic
than.
chops
Maybe
and no Taylor
bring
Swift
it-
baggage.
Bring
Sorry.
your voices down maybe a
Sorry.
little
So he
bit
doesn't-
because I think he maybe heard that. And,
Yeah. Well, the orange for best co-host tonight goes to
Well,
Niall Thorley.
Oh, you already spun the wheel
Yeah.
or roll the die.
I'm so
Well,
excited.
I was just gonna go with whoever's got the most nominations.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
The dice.
oh,
The
I
dice,
see. Because
yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
beginning of the
Niall.
episode.
So the dice still picked.
Niall
Wow.
wins.
The dice have
Niall
chosen
picked the
Niall.
best
Congratulations.
Well
thing.
done,
The
Niall.
dice have chosen.
Sometimes it feels good to be the one who got picked for the best thing
The most times.
Yeah,
the most times.
it is nice. But we'll see. Again, that is the first. Will you sing your theme song?
Yeah,
your
my theme
original score?
song. Yeah, my original score is.
Well, I say. This is the first nomination and win for Niall
1,
Thorley.
2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store and sing your mama. A little bit of Monica
You're gonna
in
get
my
played off.
Yeah,
life.
okay,
A
that's
little
it.
Dude, they're getting played off by this song. I'm just staying up there and grooving.
Well, thank you so much for coming along with us in our first ever Orange Awards.
Yes.
This will be a
Huge
yearly
honor.
thing, possibly.
I think it's
if
definitely.
they
Yeah,
keep
definitely.
making movies, then we can keep doing it. But
Jake, like one
Maybe-
more.
Maybe
economy.
every year there will be different categories too. Who's to say?
Ooh,
Yeah, who's to say?
that would be fun. Yeah, because I don't know how repeatable the anthropomorphic animal and robot.
we're really banking on 3 good animal performances per year. Well, thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard or saw here and you want to hear or see more, you can follow us on the podcast.
All of the above.
All of the
Follow
podcasts.
us
You
on
can
the
follow us
podcasts.
on Instagram, where we're very active. You can follow us on a Patreon that is free, and we don't post to anyone.
Yep.
But we just
yeah,
appreciate
you-
you still being around.
Or subscribe
Yeah,
on
I
YouTube
wanna-
if you're watching on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube.
right.
if
Or follow
you're
on
watching.
Spotify.
I do want to.
If you're
I
watching
want to
there.
emphasize follow us on podcasts. Follow any podcast.
Apple
I think
Podcasts.
Rising Tide lifts all boats. If you just start listening to any podcasts, that'll help us out a lot.
Yeah.
That's true.
That
can
saying
increase
definitely
the market
applies to
for podcasts.
podcasts.
So if you guys can just
Yeah, come on, guys. Do your part
really
by
kinda,
listening
like,
to podcasts.
do your part, listen to more podcasts, bring podcasts into the mainstream. That would really help us out a lot.
Yes, it would.
Yes. Well, we love you very much. Shout out to Kel. And we'll see you on another Man Cave Movie Night Monday.
And
Bye-bye.
bye bye, Bazinga.
Let's get you a sandwich, Jake.